Hi everyone, it's me, Darlene. Long time no see, it feels like. I think I might have skipped 3 days. We have been incredibly busy, still having fun, not just working around the clock, but just busy. We came in on Wednesday from Arkansas and moved Joe's stuff in Wednesday night. Thursday, we finished moving his stuff. And I might have, yes, I think that's when I did like the apartment tour, right? Yeah, I did that. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I don't think I recorded. Friday, I did some cleaning up, organizing. My goal is to empty at least one big tote or the equivalent of that every day. I know that doesn't sound like much, but believe it or not, I could let it go weeks without doing it. So if I'm doing at least one thing per day, it is going to get done. That's how I did my fabric closet. I don't remember. Did it take me a week or longer to do that closet? I have a series for it. I'll try to find that for you. And I remember somebody giving me shit about how little I was doing per day. But I got it done. That was the whole point. And it didn't take me like a year, like that 2-inch square quilt is. Anyway, so Friday, did stuff around here. I don't remember if we went out. I think we went out. I think we've gone out every day. And then we went out Friday night and had a really nice time at Dan McGinnis with friends. And during that night, we planned to get together the next Friday. So that's this coming Friday. I already have plans. Saturday, we went out. We went out just for a little bit that night. We weren't really in the mood to go out, but we ended up going out because Derek thought if we went out, he'd like to meet us wherever we are. I was going to text Derek and say, we're just not feeling it, so we might just go home. Unless you are still coming, we'll wait for you. And he said, actually, he goes, I was going to let you know that I'm going right home. He says, I'm tired. So we left. We left after only listening to a band for a half an hour. That's not like me. But again, weren't really feeling it and just wanted to go home. And I don't want to push it, with Joe, because it's not his thing like it's my thing. So, he, I think, would always say yes if I say, can we go out tonight? But I'm trying hard not to abuse that because I really appreciate that I get him to go out with me. And I don't need to be out dancing like I was, because it's nice to stay at home with Joe and watch a movie. Those are the reasons I wanted to meet someone, because I have someone to do things with now. So I like that. And Sunday, we went to see an old cemetery, and I'm supposed to remember the name of it. We want to go back because I wasn't in the mood to record. I kind of wanted to, but I just didn't feel like it. So I told him, next time we walk around, we can show some of these stones. And I just like looking at stuff like that. So we did that Sunday, and then we came home and we watched a movie last night too. Nothing spectacular going on other than the fact that I didn't have a chance to record. I am cleaning. Like I said, I'm organizing the best that I can, and I'm getting that done. I actually haven't done it yet today. And we're going to be going to an AA meeting because he asked me to, and I kind of was like, I'd like to actually stay home tonight and do some stuff. And he said, I really would like it if you would go. So of course I'm going, because I really like it when he goes out with me when I go to the bars. So and I don't dislike going to the meetings. I absolutely love going anywhere he wants to go because I'm just so happy that I have someone to do things with. It's just that I, workaholic, right? And it's, just a habit that's hard to break. But I'll be going with him. And that brings me to one of the topics of, I think I have 2 things that I want to talk about. The AA meetings and then my weigh-ins. All right, so stick around. AA meetings. I got a comment that struck a nerve with me. And it strikes a nerve with Joe too when people act like AA has to be one way and that's the only way, and that if you don't go to AA, you're going to just fail miserably. And I'm here to tell you that's not true. It's not true. Not everyone needs AA, and some people, like me, don't benefit from it. It was actually something I needed to stay away from at the beginning. I would leave the meetings wanting to drink. I only went in the year 2000, right? Right. Because my husband was forced to go, and I went with him to some of the meetings, and I wanted to get drunk when I left. I didn't, but he used to, but I didn't. And I stopped going because all the drinking talking made me want to drink. It made me miss it very, very much. I was brand new to being sober, like weeks, so I stopped going, and I never went back until Joe. I never have been to a meeting in 23 years, and I did fine. I did fine on my own, and I'm not into the, I'm going to say religious, even though it's not like a church religion, but there's an aspect of it that there's a higher power and things like that, and I know they say the higher power can be anything you want it to be, but they use the word God, so that's the higher power that they're talking about. And, so that rubs me the wrong way too. It's just, I don't want people to think that they have to believe in something, and they will say, you don't have to. Some really want you to just believe in God if you're going to AA. There's all kinds of groups, different ways, different people within the groups. If you are someone who likes a group atmosphere and you just want to go hang out, have some friends, something to do, and it doesn't bother you that there's going to be different opinions or whatever, just go. It doesn't bother me at all now. I don't leave there wanting to drink, and I can just ignore the parts that I don't believe in, and I'm there to hang out with Joe and to meet some of his friends. You learn a lot about the friends of someone you're going out with. Like, so far, anyone he introduces me to, they just say how nice he is and stuff like that. So I like that. And it gives us the ride back and forth. And, so the things are, I and Joe don't like it when people talk about AA and try to say you have to do it a certain way or you're doing it wrong or whatever. That's just not the way anybody should be talking to someone who is sober, staying sober, trying to stay sober, trying to quit. And the one day at a time thing, I'm here to tell you that that can be a dangerous thing to tell someone too. It can make people lose hope, because for 10 years I wanted to quit drinking, and it was awful. And one of the main reasons I would start the day saying I'm not going to drink today, and then I would drink, is because I thought, why the fuck not? I'm going to suffer the rest of my life if I quit drinking, because I thought every day was going to be a day that I was suffering, that I would never get past that, and I didn't want to suffer. So if somebody would have told me, you know what, you might suffer a lot in the beginning, but I'm promising you there's a pretty good chance that you're going to go the rest of your life not giving a shit about the fact that you ever drank. You're not going to give a shit about the fact that there's still booze out there and that you're not able to drink it. Look, I go to bars, I go dancing, I'm around booze all the time. I'm around food all the time. Two things that were very big issues for me that no longer bother me at all. And that can happen to you too. One of the comments I got was, I was trying to poo-poo what I said about Joe likes to go to meetings because he likes to be with his friends and things like that, and she wanted to make sure I knew that it's because he's an alcoholic and he needs to do that. And one day at a time, it's one day at a time, and he needs to do that. Like it wasn't just okay to go to a meeting for the sake of friendship and to just get out of the house and get away from me. He doesn't need it like that. 27 years sober, and he goes because he likes to see his friends. He gets a lot of job contacts that way. And but he's good with his sobriety. He could go months without going to AA, and that's not going to do a thing, right? So let people have some hope, and don't make it sound like it's some kind of a lifelong fucking sentence that because you were a drunk. I've had people tell me that the fact that I'm not suffering with it and that I'm not tempted, by the booze in the bar is because I was never really an alcoholic. Whatever. I know what I was, believe me. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know why people want to make it hard on other people. The other thing, and I know I've talked about this before, is I do not say I'm a recovering alcoholic. To me, the word recovering means there is at the end going to be a recovery. You're going to be recovered, right? And if I wanted to, I would choose to call myself a recovered alcoholic because I'm not drinking. But I would get shit on big time by people saying, you're never recovered. You're always an alcoholic. You're never recovered. Well, if we're never going to recover, then we should not say we're recovering. Not a recovering alcoholic because I can't recover. So recovering makes no sense. I say, just to try to keep peace, that I'm a sober alcoholic. I know I'm an alcoholic. I'm a non-drinking alcoholic. If I really had my choice, I would say I'm no longer an alcoholic because it's been many, many years. But I understand the mentality of it, and who knows? I could probably even have some drinks and not fall off the wagon and be okay. But I don't even give a shit about that. But just to keep peace, because people would really want to remind me that I'm an alcoholic because they don't want to ever let you forget that. I say I'm a sober alcoholic or I'm a non-drinking alcoholic who doesn't drink, hasn't drank for 23 years. I think that makes sense for me. All right? Okay, now I'm going to switch gears to my weigh-ins because I get a lot of people asking me, when's your next weigh-in? For my 100-pound loss, I posted and said I would update you every time I lost 10 pounds. I never said I was going to weigh in every, month or things like that. So there's no weigh-in dates for me. So what I was doing is I don't like to be on the scale. I just don't. And I would wait a little while and then I would start weighing myself. And then I would be like, okay, I've lost 4 pounds. I'll weigh myself again in 3 or 4 days. And, I had a couple of times where, like one time it was 8 weeks. It took me 8 weeks to lose my 10 pounds. And it was like 6 weeks that I lost like nothing. And then the last 2 weeks I lost everything. And it plays with my mind. It fucks with my head. And this time, I think my last weigh-in was August something, maybe 11, something like that. And I was down to 208. So I knew my next 10 pounds was going to bring me to 198. And that was very exciting for me. And I kind of fell into the trap of like weighing myself like every day. And probably for a month or every other day. And I was having a very hard time wanting to eat the food that I knew I needed to eat. All of a sudden, the old-fashioned Darlene was saying, eat less. But I didn't. I wouldn't let myself because I said I had to remember that the whole reason I'm carnivore is because I'm allowed to eat as much as I want. And the weight will come off if it's supposed to come off. That's my focus. Carnivore, I never want to restrict again for the rest of my life. I never want to have my joint pain back. I just don't want to fall into that trap. So after about a month-ish, I just told myself I'm not getting on the scale for a long time until I feel like I can. Because I wasn't losing. Oh yeah, so for like a month, I played with 1 pound. So I weighed in at 208 for the last weigh-in. and I was going from 209 to 207, 208, 209, 207. So I did that for a month, and I said, look, I'm just not going to worry about it because I was making myself miserable. So I will weigh in again, and I'm sure I will continue to lose weight, but I don't feel like I am right now, and so I'm in no rush. I'm going to wait until I know I've lost some weight, just by, having to take my pants in again or something like that. And because I don't want it to be about the number on the scale. I never want that to happen. And of course I do it because of the series that I started. And I started the series because I knew it would bring me an audience, because people are very curious. Many of you want me to succeed. Some of you want me to fail, and you're anxious to see me fail, So it's hard when you put your life out there on YouTube. It's hard to sometimes do the things you really want to do, because I have to choose between my audience and me, and for this I'm choosing me. Now, I can tell pretty much when I've lost some, so it's not like I'm going to get on the scale, 3 months from now and I'll have lost 30 pounds and missed all those 10 pounds. If that happened, that would be great. But I'm going to continue to wait probably until the end of this year. November and December, I'd like to just not be on a scale at all the rest of this year, just to give myself a break from weighing myself. I've gone as long as 14 months without weighing myself before. It's the longest that I know that I've gone. And you will remember that while I've been carnivore 7 years in November. This is 2023. We're coming up to November soon. It'll be 7 years. And I've been losing consistently for about a year now. But before that, I went 4 years where I didn't lose weight. So I had like 2 years that I lost at the beginning, and then I went 4 years that I didn't lose. And in that period, anytime I weighed myself, I would play with about 10 pounds, but I never gained back all the weight that I had lost before that, which was incredible to me because I was eating all the dairy I wanted, to the point where my joint pain was coming back and I just didn't care. And I was eating a lot of not optimal carnivore foods, all the processed meat I wanted, all that stuff. And as bad as I was doing, it was still carnivore, still allowed, still better than eating, potato chips or even broccoli, still better than vegetables. I was amazed at the amount of stuff I was eating, and I never gained my weight back, and that never had happened to me. Just like now, I can't even imagine that my weight would ever come back. As long as I'm eating carnivore, whether it's optimal or not optimal, I don't see myself ever gaining my weight back. And I do see myself probably going through a lengthy plateau because I've been losing, quite a chunk. I lost quite a chunk this past year. I know I've lost 30 since the 100 pounds, and I probably lost 20 before that, so probably like 50 pounds in a year. And I don't keep very good track of the numbers and the dates and things like that, and I don't always remember. But it's been a good chunk of weight, and I think that my body's going to just plateau for a little bit, and that's it. And so I'm going to weigh myself when I feel like weighing myself. And I certainly will report when I lose another 10 pounds. Okay? I guess that's it for now, you guys. I just wanted to fill you in on a couple of those things because I've been getting a lot of questions about weigh-ins, and I've been getting a lot of comments about how you have to keep going to AA or you're going to hell. You're going to go to booze hell. That's not the case. Doesn't have to be. Doesn't have to be. There are many alcoholics in this world who gave up booze and are completely happy. You're not walking around white-knuckling it every day. I wouldn't be able to do that. I have zero willpower. Willpower doesn't work, first of all. Don't say I can't do it because I don't have willpower. There's no such fucking thing as willpower. If you want something, you want it, and you're going to get it. You're going to make sure you can get it. So don't feel like you're a failure because you don't have willpower. Just, try to tell yourself, I will most likely not suffer forever if I quit drinking. I will most likely be able to get through it, and have a really, nice, sober life. So you can do that. You really can. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back with more soon. Bye.